know me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunsa. You ain't here for my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I won't always smoke like hookah, talking reparations. America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all in Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get mad. So nefarious how they don't roll my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regret, we only facing the threat.
This is the sound of Eric Malcolm.
It's a cut on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threat. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine, you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans, and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine, you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? All right, hello everyone. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the original Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur show. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur, and this is your daily vitamins. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. Okay, so let's get ready to get into it, honey. Trump is burning down the country. All right, he's burning it all down, beloveds. All right, hey, Leon. Laverne is in the house. Claudette. Angela is here. All right, let's get into it. Nessie X. All right, Emperor Rex is in the house. We the people. Okay, shout out to all my loyal royals and everyone tuned into the Queen. And a big shout out to my moderators because y'all know they be putting in work. Okay, so let's get ready to get into it. Before we do, y'all know the drill. Hey, Desmond. Okay, let's have a brief word from my sponsor. Hey, Federal Officer Carol Banks. All right, let's have a brief word from my sponsor at 12 Tribes.
Do not buy 12 Tribes on Earth hair growth oil and hair magic elixir unless you want super healthy, gorgeous hair that grows. They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They include quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing, and you can see the results for yourself. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Tribes on Earth today.
Okay, so don't forget you can purchase 12 Tribes hair oil at Etsy.com. Just look for Lisa Crafts. You can also find it at Walmart.com. And don't forget that she has a beard oil for the men as well. Okay, so hey, Leon. All right, so let's get ready to get into it. Now, listen, I'm still waiting for a few more people to join. So as we're waiting, let's check out some video clips that I thought were very interesting. Okay, one of them is Willow Smith, and I'm pretty sure that she likely had taken some of that ayahuasca stuff that Jada was talking about. You all know the psychedelic. It sounds like she's on some of that. Now, I'm not sure, but she had a message for the haters because she apparently posted a picture of herself that said, "Who ate all the ussy?" with the P. And she had tears running down her face. So some people were criticizing her about it. I guess they didn't think it was funny or didn't even get the joke. So here's her message.
Just so dense, y'all forgot funny existed. Y'all niggas like molasses. Slow. Also sweet though. Be sweet too. Yeah.
Did y'all hear that? She said, y'all ninjas be slow like molasses. Oh, I love that kid. Okay. I don't care what y'all say. I love that little girl. Okay. And she's actually a grown woman, but a little girl to me. All right. Easy said strange kid. Nelson G said those kids are sad. Leon said speechless. Honey, I love Willow. She is nefarious, quite frankly. Ah, she said, y'all ninjas be slow like molasses, honey. Why y'all mad at that girl if she's crying because somebody ate all the ussy? Okay? I'm sorry. Some of you men would be crying too. Some of you men would be crying too if y'all came home and somebody eating all the ussy. So please, let's not go in on Willow. Okay? I absolutely cannot. Hold on. We the people said, did you see what Jackie Chan said about her brother Jaden? No, I didn't. But I promise you I'll be looking it up after these messages. Okay? Shout out to Willow, honey. Shout out to Willow. That's all I'm saying. Now, with that all being said, without further ado, this I am from the UK said in the Queen's voice. Say what now? Okay, so here's the thing too. Look at this video because this is when talking tough online goes wrong.
A bitch can't say shit about me. So yeah. Yeah, I'm on that type of timing. Yeah. Who the fuck y'all in? Oh, shit. Oh, my fucking baby in my my baby in this car, bro. My baby, you fucking lying. Oh, my God. Oh. Police. I knew that was that car. I'm gonna call the police, bro. Call the police. Hurry up. Get my baby out the car.
Now I want the FBI in DC. I want the FBI in DC to come knock on their front doors. Okay? Y'all see how ignorant, okay, ran and left the poor baby in the back seat? Laverne talking about what just happened. Okay? Skeletor said the queen always decides to cook while I'm at the gym. All right, shout out to Skeletor getting that workout in. I missed mine, beloved. I missed mine. All right, I'll see you at the gym next week. Easy said that was ghetto fabulous. It was ghetto, but definitely nothing fabulous about it, okay? Definitely nothing fabulous about that, beloved. Just ghetto-fied, quite frankly. Ladybug said the baby would be all right. I mean, you know, this is just sad and pathetic. First of all, girl, why do these people always sit online and talk trash to their ops? Only for stuff like this to happen. Anyway, now this right here is definitely not funny. This right here is definitely not funny. Let me just tell you all what happened. In this video, I had to edit it a bit because the little thug actually hit the boy, even though he didn't hit him hard, but he hit the boy with the pistol. So I had to put something over that. But I want you all to pay attention because where's the outrage? This is a white teenager, age 16, terrorizing a 13-year-old black teen for speaking to his girlfriend at gunpoint. And they say currently the police are trying to cover it up. I want y'all to pay attention. Okay? I just want you all to pay attention.
Bitch ass nigga talking to my fucking girl. Nah, back your ass or back your. Do some jumping jacks, nigga. I'm gonna pop your ass. Man, do some jumping jacks, bitch. Do some jumping jacks, bitch. Oh, yeah. Hey, now say sorry for talking to my bitch. Say fuck Chloe, nigga. Yeah, all right, bitch. Walk your ass home. I'll pistol whip your hoe ass. Walk your ass home, nigga. Run home, bitch. Don't ever talk to my bitch again, cause next time I'ma kill your hoe ass, bitch. Yo.
Did y'all hear that? So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Now, right, here's what happened. Here's what happened. Now, this happened on August the 7th. What is the world coming to? Well, I'm so glad you asked. The same thing that's always been. Okay, this is the same thing that people like that teen you just saw there. This is the same kind of thing you've always seen. Okay, now he did all of that because he says that he was talking to his girlfriend. At the end of the day, I want you all to think about Emmett Till, 1955. Okay, the catalyst to the civil rights movement. Now, why am I bringing that up, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur? Well, here's why, and I'm so glad you asked. Because the point of the matter is, that's the descendant of those same type of people. They're still doing the same things. Okay? They're still doing the same things, terrorizing black folk who are minding their own business. Okay? This is all crazy. Queen, do you have the video of the subway worker cussing out Tiffany Haddish? No, because I promise you, if there was any headline with Tiffany Haddish's name in it, I didn't bother to read it, beloved. Okay, I didn't bother to read it, but maybe I'll look it up later. Okay, so teen to face grand jury after assaulting a 13-year-old with a gun. So a Caledonia teenager could face felony charges. Could face. Y'all hear this? Could face. He should absolutely face felony charges after allegedly threatening and hitting another minor with a gun while recording a video. Now I want you to pay attention to how they said hitting another minor, because they wanted to put it out there and make sure you know that he's a minor. But the fact of the matter is, when they have black teenagers do something, they liken them to adults. Okay, please pay attention. But anyway, it says hitting another minor with a gun while recording a video that has since gone viral on Facebook. Now, in the video, the suspect, 16-year-old white male, threatens the victim, a 13-year-old black male, at gunpoint. The suspect points a gun at the victim and accuses him of talking to his girl while using racial slurs and forcing him to do jumping jacks. The suspect appears to hit the victim on the head with the barrel of the gun before ordering him to run home. Now, Lowndes County Sheriff's deputies arrested the teenager Sunday and charged him with simple assault. Say what? Do y'all hear this, right? Simple assault for hitting somebody with a damn gun? Now, I promise you, had that been a black teenager, age 16, who did that to a 13-year-old, blonde-haired, blue-eyed, white teenager, do you think this is how this article would read? Anyway, simple assault, which is a misdemeanor, okay? The victim's mother, Josiah Sheehan, told the dispatch the misdemeanor was a slap on the wrist. Well, of course it was. They're saying there were so many other things that child could have been charged for. He brandished a weapon and threatened my child's life. He threatened to come back to my house and harm my child, if my son was to tell. That should have been a terroristic threat. Exactly. He had a gun that was illegal, that he was using, told him at gunpoint that he would use it. He hit him with that same gun. That's an unlawful carry. Sheriff Eddie Hawkins said the case was handled as a misdemeanor because there was no visible injuries on the victim. What? What? Let me tell y'all something. This is what these mother suckers really think. This is how they really think. Boy, I'm about to get so mad. Do you hear me? Let me tell y'all something, because this is my first time reading the article. Let me tell y'all something. First of all, he has a myriad of charges before. I mean, he's been in trouble a myriad of times. I'm not going to say charges, because did they really do anything about it? But he's like a whole menace. Okay, the people there say that he has done so much, so many times. Okay? Now, do you hear this? Because there was no visible injuries? What if somebody takes the butt of a gun and cracks somebody upside the head and they have internal bleeding? There may not be any visible injuries, but they could be bleeding internally. Do you see how stupid that is? Do you think they would say the same thing if that had been a black person that did the act? See, this is all making sense, because I remember days ago when the black teenager got jumped by the white teenagers who were clearly thugs. One of them's father's even a police officer. But if you all remember that story, then I saw some comments under a post about it where it was a white guy saying, well, I'm going to have to see his bruises, or what kind of bruises he has. Who gives a damn if you have bruises? Should it matter if you have bruises? If someone pulls a gun, wait a minute, first of all, so you have to have bruises visible before you're charged with brandishing a gun? before you're charged with illegally having a gun? Because I know that 16-year-old is not legally registered with that gun. Okay? You have to have bruises to be charged with a terroristic threat. You have to have bruises to be charged with a felony. Are you kidding me? Are they serious right about now? See, this is who Trump needs to be worried about. This is who he needs to be worried about, because one thing for certain is that when Black people are out here committing crimes and they get caught, especially if it's on camera, they're definitely going to jail. And they're going to get the maximum penalty under the law. 9 times out of 10. What they will never get is a slap on the wrist, especially if the crime they committed was upon a white person. Do y'all hear this? Do y'all hear this? Okay. Hey, Michi. All right. This is all crazy. Well, let me continue. So it goes on to say, so he said because there were no visible injuries on the victim and the 13-year-old had not been to the hospital by the time of the arrest. Y'all know why this is all a load of BS. Let me tell y'all a story real quick. I got time today. There was an 18-year-old Black girl. Now, I think I already told you all this, but there was an 18-year-old Black girl on her way, just graduated high school, was supposed to be leaving to go to the Army to start basic training in about 8 weeks. Coming home from school or wherever she was coming from one day, there was a school bus. 2 7-year-old little white boys got off the bus and ran across the street. She was not paying attention, was looking down at her phone or doing something that distracted her, but she was driving slow. She hit them with the car. They fell, jumped up, and took off running on across the street. She saw that they were not visibly injured, and they ran across the street. So she drove on, nervous and scared. Well, she gets arrested. And when she goes to court, her attorney basically argues that, no one was injured. They took the kids to the hospital, didn't have any type of injuries. And she's very sorry. She apologized. She showed remorse and all of that. She said she left the scene because she was nervous, scared. And she also thought they were okay because she saw them literally run across the street. Now, of course, that's no excuse. But that was her mindset at the time. When they asked the families of those kids, could they be lenient on her, because they wanted to read victim impact statements. And so the attorney is begging for them to, since it's her first offense, she's a good student, about to go join the Army and all this, could they just not give her any jail time and then, reduce the charges or whatever? Honey, those white folks got up there, both of the parents got up there and told the judge they want her to get the full punishment under the law. Now, hey, I can't argue with that. Those are not my kids. I can tell them how to feel about it. If that's how they feel, that's fine. But I said all that to say this. At the end of the day, Black people always, not always, but some Black people be talking about forgiveness. And like I say, when do they ever forgive us? And those kids didn't have any visible injuries either. Went to the hospital, didn't have anything wrong. Thank God. But the bottom line is they wanted her to get the maximum. And she did. A whole year in jail. So much for joining the Army, okay? And a felony to boot. So when they say that the reason they didn't hit him with a felony is because there were no visible injuries, yeah, please make it all make sense. These people twist and bend the law to their will. You see, it's not just Trump who does these things. It's people who think like Trump, who have the same mindset as Trump. All of these people are dangerous. If you ask me, he's just the leader of them and makes them more empowered and emboldened. All right, but let's continue. So anyway, goes on to say, no visible injuries and had not been to the hospital by the time of the arrest. By the time of the arrest. How long did it take to arrest a thug? Okay, 16th Circuit Court District Attorney Scott Cullum said there are legal limitations that prevent local law enforcement from charging juveniles with felonies before a trial is held. Felony charges are issued only if the crime is one that carries a life sentence, like murder or armed robbery, or committing a felony level offense while using a firearm. He did use a firearm. What are you talking about? I knew this was all cap. I was just waiting for it. He was using a firearm. Do y'all hear this? Where is the logic? I mean, Allah doesn't care who tell it clearly. Felony level offense while using firearm. That is a felony level offense. And he was using a firearm. Column said there's still a chance the charge could be upgraded to aggravated assault. It is aggravated assault. Like, he knew this. He knew this. It shouldn't be upgraded. It should have always been aggravated assault because that's what it was. And also, he used a firearm in the commission of a felony. Once a grand jury hears the case, the grand jury ain't gonna do nothing. Because at the end of the day, like I tell you all, when they want somebody indicted by the grand jury, they can get them indicted. And when they don't want them indicted by the grand jury, they don't. That's how that works. Now they go on to say, the video is so disturbing that I could definitely see a grand jury saying if the victim had any type of injury, keeps on talking about injuries, and the fact that a gun was used, that could be aggravated assault. To prove aggravated assault, column says, there must be some evidence of bodily injury, whether that is a trip to the hospital, visible bruises, a concussion, or even complaints of bodily pain. Okay. So this young man's mother and father, I'm gonna need y'all to take him back to the hospital or take him if you haven't taken him. And I'm pretty sure he has a concussion. Sometimes you don't get the effects of soft tissue injuries also until days later. So he probably has that too. And yeah, y'all should go get that checked out. Have him do a whole CAT scan. Okay, because I'm sure he has something, and I'm sure that he has severe headaches at this point. All right. Please pay attention. This is all crazy. So anyway, goes on to say that I can't say 100% what a grand jury would do with this case. My job isn't to tell the grand jury what to do, but you'll definitely tell them what to do by the way you present your case. So miss me with it, sir. And this man is black. That's the scary part. This man is one of those scared to death Negroes down in the South. Because he's black, and this is what he's saying. He's going along with the police. Okay? That's why they made him a prosecutor. I can guarantee you, if he was a real Negro like me, it's no way. Down in the racist arse, Mississippi, he'd be the prosecutor, is all I'm saying. Anyway, let me continue. Goes on to say, my job is to give them the facts, give them the law, and let them make the decision. Column said the suspect is also facing a separate pending felony investigation. See, I told y'all, he's already been in trouble before, honey. They need to send his ass up the river for at least 10 years off the rip. Both cases will be brought before a grand jury in the fall. So he's a whole menace and a bully is what I'm telling you. Now, currently the case is being handled in youth court. Now, here's what the mother said. Our children get felonies. They're trying to save him. Damn right they get felonies. You see this all talk right here, what they're saying about how they don't get felonies to children. Yeah, they do. They get them to black children all the time. When don't they? As often as they can. So Shin told the dispatch her son suffered from headaches in the days following. I know that's right. Migraines, to be exact, okay? Excruciating. She said he suffered from headaches in the days following the assault and was later taken to the hospital for evaluation. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, that's what you need to do? Yeah, okay. Yeah, in fact, he has gone to the hospital, sir. Now what? The video was taken in Shin's driveway while she was at work. And then you're at his house. Well, let me tell you something. Now, here's the thing, though. The sad thing is, had this little black boy been a whole thug like him and had come outside with a pistol in his pocket or pants or whatever and pulled it out and shot him, you think they would have said that was self-defense, even if it was on camera? No. They would have said it was premeditated. The same BS they said about Carmelo Anthony, okay? The same thing they said about Carmelo Anthony. I want y'all to pay attention. I'm going to that trial too. Now, they say he's been traumatized since it happened. He looked traumatized right there on the video. He looks traumatized. Let's go back to the video. Okay, I'm sure he was traumatized. Look at the look on his face.
Nigga talking to my fucking girl. Nah, back your ass or back your... Do some jumping jacks, nigga. I'm gonna pop your ass. Man, do some jumping jacks, bitch. Do some jumping jacks, bitch. Oh, yeah. Hey, now say sorry for talking to my bitch. Say fuck Chloe, nigga. Yeah, all right, bitch, walk your ass home. I'll pistol whip your hoe ass. Walk your ass home, nigga. Run home, bitch. Don't ever talk to my bitch again, because next time I'm going to kill your hoe ass, bitch. Yo,
So, but y'all can't charge him with a felony? He threatened to kill him? And then trespassing too, because you're all on their property. Let me continue. So anyway, they go on to say that she says he really can't process what happened. He doesn't even really know how to feel. I had to give my son a counselor, had to get him a counselor. We're going to work on family counseling because it's been a lot on all of us to have the thought of just coming home to my child in my yard. I just can't get it out of my head. Ooh, honey, imagine if she'd have walked up and saw him doing all that. Baby, he'd have met Smith and Wesson that day if they had been my son, okay? And not only would he have met Mr. Smith and Mr. Wesson, he'd have had a conversation with them, a real loud conversation with them, okay? I promise you that. Anyway, goes on to say, she says, I just can't get it out of my head. She said she believes the suspect should face further charges. I would like his charges to be upgraded to a felony, and I would like to see him go to adult jail so that he can see that this is not a game. Honey, I'll show him what's not a game, honey, if he ever come in my yard talking crazy. Now, this is for real. They don't mind doing it to our kids. Our children get felonies. They get prevented from being able to get good jobs and a good education. Yeah, again, let's talk about Brock Turner. After he raped somebody behind a dumpster, they didn't send him to prison because he was a college student. They don't want to ruin his life, but they don't mind ruining your children's lives. They're trying to save him from having to do this. Now, Shin's family is organizing a demonstration to protest against racial inequalities in the justice system. She said, I want equality. The law should be the same for everybody, regardless of your color. They cannot pick and choose when they feel like it to abide by the law. Everybody should be treated the same. It has to stop. The protest will be held at 1 p.m. Saturday in Lowndes County Justice Court. Sadly, that's not going to do any good. That's not going to do any good. I can tell y'all what's going to do some good, but y'all don't want to hear that. All right. But anyway, suspect's family speaks out. The suspect's mother, Brittany Rager, told the dispatch she had no knowledge of the altercation until the video was sent to her. She said, I just want the victim's family to know that it's not like we're keeping the 16-year-old from getting into trouble, Rager said. Hold on. The suspect's mother. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm so mad I'm not even thinking straight. Okay, right. So this is the thug's mother, basically. So she says, it's not like we're keeping him from getting into trouble. Yeah, we see that because he clearly gets into lots of it. Okay, we found out what happened. The first thing the first thing we did was call the police and have them come arrest him. We found the gun when we searched our room, and we turned it over to the police. Don't try to make me think y'all doing the right thing. You know how I know this person not doing the right thing? See, let me tell you something. First of all, I can tell they're not doing the right thing as parents. Don't try to act like y'all some goody two-shoes parent. We called the police as soon as we found out. First of all, no, you didn't. You probably did call the police because it was all over the internet. The video went viral, so everybody already knew. Okay, so you had no choice but to do that. So I'm not going to pat you on the back for it. Okay, and the fact that y'all had a gun laying around in your house where he could get to it, and you already know he's a thug, that's why there's already a felony investigation into the little thug. Okay, a whole devil. So miss me with it, trying to act like they're such good, upstanding parents. No, you're not. Okay, and where did he learn to talk like that? I'm sure from them. Okay, so anyway, and even if not from them, they didn't do anything to try to change his behavior, clearly, okay, or to modify it. But let me continue. So goes on to say that Ranger said her son is still being held in the Lowndes County Juvenile Detention Center. The attorney asked if he could come home. Would that be something we wanted? Okay, that's what she told the dispatch. And we told them no, that he was not ready. Okay. I just want to apologize to the family for everything that's happened. Column said the best way to handle the conflict is to let the process play out. And rather than having people take matters into their own hands. I'll say, yeah. Do they ever say that when it's Black people? Do they ever say anything to the other folks that don't look like me about not taking matters into your own hands? Because last time I checked, they deputize those same people sometimes. And when they commit acts of vigilanteism, very little is done, if anything at all. So we have not let this short-term conflict get worse. Be patient and let the process play out. None of these cases resolve overnight. It's not possible. Often what we have is the conflict what we have is the conflict is not resolved. They don't trust the legal system. So they end up taking it into their own hands. And that makes matters worse. So let's not do that. If you want to state your opinion on social media, if you want to protest, keep it peaceful and we have no problem. Honey, I wouldn't give a damn if you have a problem or not. Because clearly you don't have a problem with thugs going around terrorizing people in their own yards, minors at that, pulling guns and pistol hitting them, pistol whipping them and all of that. That's what you obviously aren't concerned about. Talking about otherwise we have no problem. Sit down somewhere. And let me show y'all who this fool is, because this is Scott Collum right here. Please pay attention. Y'all see him? That's him right there, okay? Now, with that all being said, moving right along, okay, that is all crazy to me. And then let me just tell you all this. Y'all know the DC police are out of control and out of pocket, okay? Adrian said an explosive conversation with Smith and Wesson. Exactly. Mr. Smith and Mr. Wesson stay on deck. Okay, but let me tell you something. Adrian said he looks like a whole biscuit. Okay, I can see the crumbs around his mouth on the picture. Okay, it's all crazy. But anyway, listen to this. So the DC cops are clearly out of control. When Trump says that they can do whatever they want, well, they're doing it. Now, we saw on video footage the other day with the agents, the FBI agents, that is, walking around asking people questions, coming up on their porches. But at least the ones that we saw were being polite, okay, and trying to explain things. Now, but these DC cops, yeah, we know the police always are doing too much, but when you give them the go ahead to do even more, they're going to do it. So there was a black man standing outside as the police were patrolling the streets, and he took out his cell phone and started recording them. They turned around and politely jumped him. That's what they did. They jumped him like a whole gang that they are. They jumped him, and I said politely to be sarcastic, but they jumped him. And then, not only that, hold on, I'm sending this to my email because I'm going to show you all some screenshots. I am not going to show the video because I don't want any problems with ScrewTube. But they jumped this man for recording them, for simply recording them. Okay. And they pepper sprayed him at close range in his face more than once. And you hear other black people yelling, telling them not to spray this man. Wasn't doing a thing. Okay, this is what they do. Hold on. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Give me a second. Okay, now let's just look at some of these screenshots. It's a darn shame. Okay, y'all see that? A whole mess. Now let's go to the next one. Anyway, at the end of the day, they're doing exactly what I expected them to do. Okay. And then Norma says, and a black cop, they're doing nothing. Yeah, he was doing just that. Absolutely nothing. Okay. That's exactly what he was doing, beloved. Absolutely nothing. Okay. Standing there looking like he was scared. Now look at this picture right here. You can see they have him by the feet and they have him by the hands. I'm sorry, I absolutely know that. I already know that. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm talking to Reno. Yeah, isn't this something? Look how they're holding his feet. They got him from they're all over his head and back. And look at him turning around, like all because he was recording them. He literally was standing close to the curb, walked up behind them, and pulled out his phone and started recording them. They turned around, took one look at him, and jumped him, just like the thugs that they absolutely are. Okay. And like I said, these are the police acting like idiots. We didn't see anybody else do anything foolish so far, just the police. So anyway, honey, and let me just tell you all this. Also, they have a report. Let me see if I have that report. This man, hold on. This man ran out into the street and was hit by a car because ICE was chasing him. Now, but when they reported the story, they tried to conveniently leave out the part about the man being handcuffed when he fled. So anyway, let me go to this right here. Hold on, beloveds. Like some, everyone, please like and share. First of all, hold on. I'm gonna go to these in the order I have them in my email, so I don't have to look for stuff. Basically, but this is a video where they're asking Governor Gavin Newsom about trolling Trump.
What? Can you just talk about that? Is that like a strategy? I don't know. I hope it's a wake-up call to the President of the United States. I'm sort of following his example. If you've got issues with what I'm putting out, you sure as hell should have concerns about what he's putting out as president. So to the extent it's gotten some attention, I'm pleased. But I think the deeper question is, how have we allowed the normalization of his tweets through social posts over the course of the last many years to go without similar scrutiny and notice?
At the end of the day, I don't know why they're trying to go in on him about what he's posting about Trump. Okay, like Trump can just say and do whatever he wants.
Doesn't need the National Guard to protect it. It needs more investment in other things that are more important.
It's not as if he walks around the neighborhoods, meeting people, seeing how we live, seeing how neighbors care for each other. It's not as if he is trying to make it better. He's trying simply to control it.
I think he's kind of like blowing it out of proportion. In my mind, the National Guard is just a play for to make the people in power seem like they're doing something to address the problem, when in reality, the issues of crime, violence, and those kinds of things oftentimes are more so attributed to poor educational opportunities and lack of economic opportunities.
I went to the farmers market on Saturday and saw federal police there. There's just no need to have police at a farmers market, much less federal police.
Their presence make me feel a little bit uneasy.
It's absolutely unnecessary, totally being done to distract attention from the Epstein files. I felt violated. I don't feel safe with the possibility of untrained FBI agents and military personnel who are untrained to do police services patrolling our streets.
We don't need the National Guard, who I can't imagine what they're going to do, because we all know they're not trained for this sort of thing, whereas the Metropolitan Police are.
DC doesn't need the National Guard.
Okay, the last few people talking about the police or talking about the National Guard and the FBI not being trained to do police work. I'm sorry, but the police in this country don't even seem to be trained to do police work. Didn't it say back in the day, protect and serve, not harass and brutalize? So how could they be any worse than the police? I beg to differ. Okay, the police are nefarious by themselves. It's not like they're out here doing the right thing for the most part. Okay, and clearly from what I witnessed, with them pouncing on that man just for recording, I'm sorry, it would be safe for me to assume that the police aren't even trained correctly.
Raided a Home Depot yesterday. They cuffed this man. They somehow lost control of him. He ran away to the freeway. He was heard screaming for help before he was struck by a vehicle and killed. Boils my blood how the news reported this and how they just whitewash all of ICE's responsibility. Listen.
Well, some breaking news in Monrovia where a man was struck and killed on the 210 freeway. The city manager says immigration agents conducted a raid at the Home Depot on Mountain Avenue this morning. That's when the man ran onto the freeway and was hit by a car. He was taken to a hospital where he later died.
What they don't report is that the man was cuffed with his hands behind his back. You can see that here in this LA Taco video. They are putting him in that vehicle with his hands cuffed behind his back. In the uncensored photos of the man on the highway, you can see he is laying there dead with his hands cuffed behind his back. That means ICE had responsibility of him. You can see that in this video. So somewhere between that and when he got struck by the car, he got away from them. He was reported screaming for help. You can see the parking lot of this Home Depot and the freeway right next to each other, screaming for help, running away as ICE agents are chasing him. Now, what do you not see in the video of the aftermath? These are civilians who stopped traffic to render aid to the man that was struck. He was in their custody being put into their vehicle, which means they somehow lost custody.
Rest in peace to that man, honey. Rest in peace to that poor man, honey. I know he shouldn't have ran, some people would say, but at the end of the day, did he deserve to die? This is all getting out of hand, okay? This is all literally getting out of hand. Anyway, look at this.
This was posted on the White House Twitter page to justify the multi-agency task force that's hitting the streets of Washington, D.C., justifying military being deployed on American citizens. And you see what faces they got right there. That man got failure to appear for trial on assault offense. And that's the reason why the National Guard is out there. Look at all the faces. Look at their charges. This is what's going on in our country right here. I've never, ever thought that the citizen status of Black people was going to stop the American government from robbing us of our civil liberties, because the history of America tells us they will always already figure out a way to criminalize our body and existence to justify the hyper-policing. Even a Black dude right here. But Operation Making DC Safe and Beautiful, this man got arrested for unauthorized use of a vehicle, and that's what they using to justify the multitask agency effort. See, they defund education to defund the lessons. We supposed to know that in order for you to be able to deploy the military, there's supposed to be some type of state of emergency. You fabricated a narrative around crime when crime has been on its historical low for the last 30 years in DC, and that's what you're justifying. I'm legal. I got my papers. I'm a citizen. Says whom? When in American history has Blackness not been pathologized as being criminal? So when we start talking about individuals being criminal and being illegal when it came to immigration, that was already creating a climate for them to put on your Black ass. It's not an aha gotcha moment either. This is a, what are we going to do when we see what they're doing to us right now? What are we going to do? This is a, they are not stopping in DC, and they're not stopping at what they're doing right now. It will spread and it will be ramped up. This is a, have you read Project 2025 to know the exact plans of what they're trying to do to us? This was posted on the White House.
They're trying to turn us into the Handmaid's Tale, beloveds. Please pay attention. Mama Joycelyn's being messy. Talk about Queen. Where are your MAGA followers? We would love to hear from them. Not MAGA followers, beloved. I think they all ran off. After it started getting real bad and didn't have anything else to say, I think they just left, beloved. Honestly. Okay, they are nowhere to be seen or heard from. Now, this is Pam Bondi sitting up her just lying, just like Trump.
The most impactful thing that's happened, despite what we've seen with these crazy protesters out there, citizens are coming out of their homes and they're going up to these law enforcement officers and they're thanking them for keeping them safe and making the streets safe again. An elderly woman walks up to law enforcement and thanks them so she can go to the market again. So they are seeing the impact of what our law enforcement officers are doing under Donald Trump's directive, and they're going to continue to do it. We're going to work hand in hand with state, federal, local officers, and we're going to make DC safe again. You know, I think the most impactful.
Y'all know she's lying, right? She said, old lady, an old lady, mind you. Ha! Said an old lady walked up to law enforcement and said, thank you, because it's safe for her to walk across the street again. Nah, she's lying. I'm going to tell you what happened. Somebody got some get back, okay? Now she knows that she is lying. That is not what happened, because here is what happened. I'm going to show you the footage. Lights up, everyone. Please like and share. Thank you in advance. Okay? Somebody got them something. Somebody got their lick back. That's what happens. Anybody thanking them for being there? No little old ladies and all that. It's all lies and BS. Because here's what really happened. Y'all watch this.
Welcome back here on Live Now from Fox 232 on the East Coast, 1132 on the West Coast. I do want to get you to a developing story that we have been following, as a Justice Department employee has been fired and charged with a felony after investigators say they identified him as the man seen in this video throwing a Subway sandwich at a federal officer. The footage obtained by our Fox 5 DC station shows the incident earlier this week during a confrontation in downtown Washington, D.C. Court documents allege the man is now former DOJ employee Sean Dunn, and that he yelled profanities at a U.S. Customs and Border Protection agent before hurling that sandwich right at him, and then, as you can see, taking off running. Attorney General Pam Bondi posted about this earlier on today here on social media, and I do want to pop that up for you. She said, if you touch any law enforcement officer, we will come after you. I just learned that this defendant worked at the Department of Justice no longer. Not only is he fired, he has been charged with a felony. This is an example of the deep state we have been up against for 7 months as we work to refocus DOJ. You will not work in this administration while disrespecting our government and law enforcement. I do want to discuss all of this further as we get more and more details on the developing story. Nima Rahmani, a friend of the show, is the president of West Coast Trial Lawyers, and he's a former federal prosecutor. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us today.
Of course, Josh. Thanks for having me as always.
Of course. And first off, I did want to ask you overall about this situation in general, because we are talking about felony assault. How exactly does that differ from maybe simple assault? And does a sandwich meet the criteria of any of that?
Josh, you're spot on. This is not felony assault. Felony requires some sort of weapon, usually a deadly weapon, or substantial bodily injury. And throwing a Subway sandwich at someone may be assault, but it's simple assault. It's a misdemeanor under 111 United States Code. Again, it's something that's a wobbler for folks who practice criminal law, which means it.
Now, mind you, they charged the man with a felony for throwing the sandwich. Okay, maybe he thought the officer was hungry, okay? But they charged him with a felony for throwing a sandwich. But that thug down there in Mississippi hit that kid with a pistol and threatened him and all that and didn't get anything but a misdemeanor. Let that sink in.
Can be charged as a misdemeanor or felony. So I understand what Pam Bondi's doing. She's trying to protect federal law enforcement officers, but no judge in this country on either side of the political aisle, regardless of who appointed them, is going to move forward with a felony assault trial here. This will be a misdemeanor, and it will be for a magistrate, which is a lower judge in federal court.
And I did want to ask, if this does end up getting prosecuted as a felony assault, how do the penalties kind of differ when you're talking about a felony assault versus a simple assault?
The key difference between a misdemeanor and a felony is jail time. And a felony is punishable by more than a year in federal prison. A misdemeanor is a year or less. So I'm not necessarily saying that this is going to be a jail case at all. It might be a fine, might be a probation, but a felony does put you in that significant jail time, a year or more in prison.
When we're talking about a DOJ employee now, according to Pam Bondi, a former DOJ employee, does that change any of the legal aspects of the case and the situation as a whole?
Now, I want you all to pay attention because they claim this man was an employee of the DOJ. Do you all hear this? Now, some of you all are saying it's a whole psyop. Okay, they're saying this man worked for the DOJ that threw the sandwich. Okay, I'm sorry, what?
It doesn't. Now, obviously, DOJ employees should be held to a higher standard, but we're really talking about an administrative issue. They are at-will employees, but they can be let go for misconduct or conduct unbecoming a public service. And they do have civil service protections, which means they have the right to notice and a hearing. But in this particular case, we've all seen the video. When he was caught, he admitted to throwing the Subway sandwich. Really, the only potential defense here is that it wasn't me. And I think that's going to be very difficult to prove. So I expect him to be out of a job and be looking for a new job in the private sector. But I don't expect Mr. Dunn to be any felony charges here. We're likely going to see some sort of plea or a dismissal by the judge that gets assigned this case.
And on that note here, can
Hold on. Hold on, you all. I actually stopped sharing that too soon because he's asking him a couple of good questions. Let me go back to that really quick because I want to hear this. I'm sorry, I thought that was the end of it. Let me roll it back just a bit.
protest, expression, or does the physical nature here of the act? On that note here, can Dunn actually claim that his actions were maybe a form of political protest, expression, or does the physical nature here of the act limit that defense as you're talking about not necessarily a deadly weapon, but an object that was thrown at that officer?
Josh, you're on fire today. You're absolutely right. There's a difference between speech and conduct. So obviously political speech is protected under the First Amendment, but conduct is not. So conduct always crosses the line from protected First Amendment free speech activity to potential misconduct. So an assault is never protected. Him yelling fascist, maybe even yelling profanities, that can't be prosecuted. But it's really that sandwich throwing, that physical touching that crosses the line from protected activity to criminal conduct.
All right. Nima Rahmani, as always, thank you so much for taking the time to join us here.
Now, you all know Judge Janine had to come out and talk trash about it. Okay? She had to come out and talk trash about it. Please pay attention. So now, all of a sudden, she's working with the Trump administration. Is that what she thinks?
So President Trump has vowed to make D.C. safe and beautiful again. And as part of his effort to fight crime, he's bringing in our federal law enforcement partners like FBI, ATF, DEA, or Park Police, everybody to help the Metropolitan PD fight crime. And the president's message to the criminals was, if you spit, we hit. Well, we didn't quite do that the other night when an individual went up to one of the federal law enforcement officers and started jumping up and down, screaming at him, berating him, yelling at him. And then he took a Subway sandwich about this big and took it and threw it at the officer. He thought it was funny. Well, he doesn't think it's funny today because we charged him with a felony, assault on a police officer. And we're going to back the police to the hilt. So there. Stick your Subway sandwich somewhere else.
She sounds so stupid, okay? Lady, sit yourself down somewhere. All right, and then she talked about a Subway sandwich about this big. Girl, just say it was a foot long, okay? I absolutely cannot. Panther Strike said he can't stand that chick. I can't either. Okay, I can't either. Now listen to this, because Governor Gavin Newsom talks about this phone call that he had with Mr. Orange, okay, aka Wig number 5, aka Trump the Dump Dump. Okay, this is what he said Trump told him on the phone call.
Was just, a day before he was to federalize the National Guard here in Los Angeles. He called me. We talked on a Friday night, late at night, and all he wanted to brag about the Newscom thing. He said, "It's pretty funny, isn't it?" He goes, "Pretty original." I said, "Well, it's not original. There was this guy, Maurice, I can't remember his name, but he used to say the same thing." He goes, "Hey, what about my hats? What do you think? It's a pretty good brand, right? Mega. You know, it's pretty good. I've sold hundreds of thousands." I mean, I'm like, are you serious? Are we seriously having this conversation when you're supposed to be reading me the riot act about keeping people safe in Los Angeles? He never once talked about the National Guard. He never wanted to talk about what happened in LA. It's much more alarming than you think. And that's why what is happening in plain sight, you need to see for your own eyes. We've got to pay attention. This guy is unhinged. He's getting weaker and weaker by the day. You saw that with the new inflation numbers that came out, the wholesale numbers that came out today. You've seen that with an economy that's slowing down. You see that with the crony capitalism, where he's extracting and nationalizing businesses, socializing, dare I say, some of America's most iconic businesses, and doing 15% extractions. Ask NVIDIA how that feels. Look what's happening in this country to truth and trust. He's trying to censor historical facts. He's trying to rewrite history in the Smithsonian's. This is one of the great grafts and the great corruption we've ever seen in U.S. history. Billions of dollars have been fleeced from the American people, and it's right in front of us. So this is a serious moment. It requires seriousness of purpose, and it requires us to fight fire with fire and play by a new set of rules. And I know that's hard for Democrats. I know, trust me, I'm one of them. But this is a real moment of peril if we do not stand up.
So right before he's about.
Y'all heard that. Okay, y'all heard that, right? Now, here's the thing. Now, listen to what this victim says about Trump. Okay, and this is the president. This is the president. This is all nefarious.
To do with him being in power, but extreme power. And it's very hard to even, it was always intimidating when he was like that. It was always, you didn't really know if it was true or, I mean, like if you refused to play along, would he really call immigration on Maria? Would he really get rid of us both? And I didn't even want to know what that meant. You know, I always didn't, it wasn't a game. It just felt like it wasn't a game.
Yeah.
The one night that I had the blonde wig on, he mentioned that I looked like, you know, that I reminded him of his daughter. And actually the maid fantasy, I didn't have a blonde wig on. I was trying to stay away from blonde wigs at the time, but he actually told Tiffany that that's what he wanted me to wear. Like he wanted it, and anytime I put it on, anytime I had it on and he'd see me, he would say, "Oh man, you look," and it wasn't like "Oh, you remind me of my daughter." It was this sick, evil, like, you remind me of my daughter. It was just this weird pleasure, sick smile. Like I don't even want to know what he was thinking about. I could imagine what he was thinking about. After the parties would end.
Okay, just a sick freak. Okay, just a sick freak. And when the parties were over, they had to report to Epstein. And XX Frank Diddy says, "Queen, you seen the video where Trump said if his daughter wasn't his daughter, he would dead?" Yes, I showed a whole collage of those videos just the other day. He said sick things about his own daughter on a myriad of occasions, and I showed them all. So now, with that all been said, you heard what that lady said. That was one of Epstein's victims talking about Trump. And Hunter Biden is standing 10 toes down of what he said about Melania Trump. And she's sitting up here talking about suing him for $1 billion. Well, Melania, good luck with that. Okay, it's not going to happen. I'm going to tell you why it's not going to happen.
According to his biography.
Hold on. Let me put an overlay on this because I don't want any copyright issues.
Is that Jeffrey Epstein introduced Melania. That's how Melania and the First Lady and the President met.
Really?
Yeah.
Epstein made the intro.
Yeah, according to Michael Wolff.
Yeah.
And so I only can go by what people are saying, and I don't. According to his biographer, is that Jeffrey Epstein introduced.
Okay, so Hunter Biden is standing 10 toes down, and basically Melania still talking about suing him for $1 billion. I'm sorry. But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. She's not going to really sue him. Okay, I'm going to tell you why she's not going to really sue him. Because for one, there's something called a period of discovery when you take somebody to court, right? And so do you really think they want to bring out the facts, proof, and receipts, and the witnesses who actually know that exactly what Michael Wolff said is likely true? Okay, that it's likely true. Okay. Now, because here's the thing. That's not even really a big deal if Epstein introduced her to Trump. But it pales in comparison to all of the other things that they have said about Trump and Epstein. Okay? But my thing is they want to sue. Yeah, they're not going to do anything because they have to show in the period of discovery what really happened. And I'm sure there's witnesses to all of the debauchery. Now, listen to this. So for those of you parents and grandparents who don't know anything about, we're going to get back on Trump in a minute, but since I have my X account pulled up, I need to show you all a couple of these videos. If you don't know about Roblox, please don't let your kids watch it. It's for perverts. Okay, I've done a report on this before, but listen to what this young man says. Okay, this is I believe he's a teenager. He certainly looks like it, and he did a great job. Okay, shout out to him. All right, because he's been catching predators on Roblox. And then what do they do, the owners of Roblox? Well, I'll let him tell you. Okay, I'll let him tell you.
I have just gotten a legal complaint from Roblox. I'm not even joking. They have sent a cease and desist letter to me, and they've gone ahead and banned every account I own. And you might be wondering, what heinous crime did you commit to possibly deserve that? Well, what I did was get predators arrested on their platform. Actually, 6 of them. I got 6 predators arrested within the Roblox community. Some of them, the crimes are so heinous, I can't even say here on TikTok or wherever this is going. And the thing that's crazy about it is that Roblox has taken a more firm action against me, a person getting these people arrested, a person that law enforcement has made public statements saying that they are glad when people like me go ahead and give them information so that they can arrest these people. Roblox has sent me the cease and desist letter, not these predators. That is absolutely insane. And the other thing that's crazy about this is Roblox itself. It is a predator haven. There are games on Roblox like XYZ Public Bathroom Simulator. That's about 7 million visits, and the whole premise of the game is showering together with kids. That is the whole game. If you join it, you're going to see predators. You're going to see naked avatars. You're going to see people peeing and all this sort of weird stuff. If I was a parent and I saw that, I would be outraged. I would be totally outraged. And parents aren't aware of this. And it's so sad. I get emails from kids daily about all the horrible stuff that they're exposed to. I get emails from parents talking about what their kids were exposed to. And there are so many predators on this platform. It is actually unreal. So it's quite crazy to see Roblox go after me, a person trying to get predators arrested off of their platform, than the predators. Why? I don't get it. I don't understand.
Yeah, because they're getting money from the predators. They're not making money off of him. In fact, he's costing them money when the predators get arrested by the police. Okay, there needs to be a major investigation into this. It is all just nefarious at the end of the day. Okay, so I have y'all saw the video of Obama talking about Obama held a call with Texas Democrats today and thanked them for blocking the Republicans' gerrymandering efforts. Hold on, I gotta show this, and then one more video, and then we gotta get into. I gotta let you all know what's going on with the emergency commissioner and all of that. Hold on, we got Obama next, and then this white guy who was going in on them. Okay, and by them I mean Trump. Okay, by them I mean Trump.
Your actions, because of your courage, what you've seen is California responding, other states looking at what they can do to offset this mid-decade gerrymandering that is highly irregular and is not what we should be doing to balance out the maps for this upcoming election. Because of your act.
Y'all heard what Obama said. Dang it. Now let's go to this guy going in. Oh, and by the way, Trump said that he's claiming that 275,000 illegals have been kicked off of Social Security. First of all, what were they doing getting Social Security in the first place? Okay, I told y'all, didn't I tell y'all that they were giving money to Ukrainians who came over here, giving them Social Security? Okay, make it all make sense. This is actually, you all know Kaya, right? You all know Kaya? Well, this is her white brother. Okay, please pay attention.
You're telling me that a 15-year-old girl punches a 19-year-old fuck-knuckle named Big Balls during a carjacking, and that's our generation's Reichstag fire? God damn, I hate this timeline. You know, at least Trump didn't send in the National Guard on January 6th, the most violent day in D.C. in the last 30 fucking years. But now that crime is down to a 30-year low and this year's another 26% drop from last year, it needs to become a fucking police state? Jesus, tap dancing Christ. We've had mass shootings, school shootings, and natural fucking disasters that didn't get this kind of fucking response. Oh, and by the way, if you watched that press briefing and came away thinking anything other than this guy's a few marbles short of a set, you're so slow I could time you with a calendar because that geriatric motherfucker repeatedly called Alaska Russia, for Christ's sake. If Biden had done that, you motherfuckers would have been so busy losing all three of your collective brain cells, you'd have forgotten your mother's fucking birthday. And furthermore, I'd like to invite all of you hypocritical buckets of piss to go ahead and get fucked. Because if Obama or Biden announced they were federalizing the DC police and setting the National Guard loose on US fucking citizens, you amosexual shrimp dicks would have been marching in the fucking streets. Get fucked.
Ooh, honey, he went in. Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? What did he call them? Buckets of piss and shrimp bees? I absolutely cannot, honey. He went in, didn't he? Didn't he go in, honey? I haven't heard anybody go in that hard since Kyle. Yeah. And he was talking so fast, he didn't even take a breath. Okay, please pay attention. But anyway, so let's talk about what's going on here because Trump and them are getting sued, and I love it. I love to hear it. DC sues Trump. Okay, they sue over Trump administration's attempted takeover of city police. Attorney General Pam Bondi last night said that she was naming the DEA head as the emergency police commissioner. That's what she said. The DEA head's going to now be the police commissioner. Says it was an emergency. Okay, so Washington officials are suing Trump's administration over what they call a baseless power grab after the Department of Justice ordered a new emergency head of district police. They say by illegally declaring a takeover of MPD, the administration is abusing its temporary limited authority under the law. Okay, this is what Schwab said on an X post Friday, saying this is the gravest threat to home rule DC has ever had, and we're fighting to stop it. Now, the lawsuit, which was filed in federal court, warned that the attempted takeover could wreak operational havoc on the Metropolitan Police Department because of the confusion about who has operational control. The city's lawyers say that the push by President Donald Trump and Attorney General Pam Bondi violates the law in multiple ways, exceeding the president's legal power to intervene in city affairs and rescinding policies. Okay, and now with that all being said, let's go to the documents. Let's go to the documents. I'm going to go through some of it because I actually have the law documents right here. Okay, see, this is what I'm talking about. Trump's going to be hit with a myriad of lawsuits in a minute. Okay, please pay attention. He is going to be absolutely hit with a myriad of lawsuits before it's all over with, before it's all said and done. Okay? Now, they say that more than 50 years ago, Congress empowered the people of the District of Columbia to govern themselves through the District of Columbia Home Rule Act. Okay, now we talked a bit about this the other day, but Trump's just abusing his power under it, okay? Now, I'm going to skip down because, okay, these unlawful assertions of authority will create immediate, devastating, and irreparable harms for the district. Most critically, the order threatens to upend the command structure of MPD and wreak operational havoc within the department and endangering the safety of the public and law enforcement officers alike. There is no greater risk to public safety in a large professional law enforcement organization like MPD than to not know who is in command. To redress these unlawful assertions of authority, the district seek a preliminary and permanent injunction, declaratory relief, a vacatur, and all other appropriate relief to ensure that control of MPD remains with the people of the District of Columbia and that the Home Rule Act is followed as Congress directed it. See, Trump's just doing whatever the hell he wants. I told y'all. I told you all, okay? I told you all. Defendant Donald J. Trump. I bet he's heard that a lot. Defendant Donald J. Trump is the president of the United States. He is sued in his official capacity. Defendant Pamela J. Bondi is the Attorney General of the United States. She is sued in her official capacity. Attorney General Bondi is responsible for all aspects of the operation and management of the United States Department of Justice, including implementing and fulfilling DOJ's duties under the United States Constitution and statutory law. Now, with that all being said, Defendant United States Department of Justice is a cabinet agency within the executive branch of the United States government. The Justice Department is an agency under the administrative procedure. Let's skip on down. Now, here are the factual allegations. Okay, the U.S. Constitution grants to Congress the power to exercise exclusive legislation in all cases whatsoever over the District of Columbia. Now, Congress's implementation of that authority has evolved. For much of the 1800s, Congress approved and provided for a legally elected council. Chris Myers Ash and George Derrick Musgrove, Chocolate City. Okay, I'm gonna skip all that. Okay, so beginning in 1871, however, the district was governed at first in part and then in total by presidentially appointed officials. This left the district citizens with no say in local policies or governance. So the citizens didn't even have anything to say about it, honey. Okay. So I'm going to skip past all of this. They talk about the speech in 1955 by then President Eisenhower. Now they say under district law, the mayor appoints the chief of police, who in turn supervises MPD officers. The chief is subject to any orders, rules, and regulations as may from time to time be issued by the mayor or council of the District of Columbia, and is responsible for the proper and efficient conduct, control, and discipline of the force. Individual officers, in turn, must obey lawful orders they receive from superior officers and must abide by MPD rules and policies. Now, under the Home Rule Act, Congress retains ultimate legislative authority over the district, including the right to review legislation enacted by the council. Okay, so with that all being said, listen, the bottom line is Trump is just ruining everything, and the people in D.C. are not here for it. They're very upset. Okay, they are very upset, as they should be. Now, you've heard from a myriad of people in D.C. who are saying that there is not even a high rate of crime, that the police, not the police, but the National Guard and the federal agents are not needed there. Like, it is totally a waste of time. And then the police have now become more emboldened, okay, than they've already previously been, mind you, to just come out and harass people, attack people on a whim just for doing simple things that are absolutely legal, such as recording. Okay, such as recording. So, you know, it's just all a hot mess at the end of the day. It is all a hot mess. And it's going to get worse in the days to come. Okay, it's going to get worse in the days to come. Now, California Governor Gavin Newsom issued a stern warning. Speaking at the Japanese American National Museum, Newsom said California will redraw its congressional maps if Texas moves forward with its GOP plan to lock in at least 5 safe Republican seats. Okay, and he called Trump a failed president. You all know Trump's going to have a few things to say about this. Okay, you already know he is going to have something to say about this. Okay?
Up, America. Wake up. You will not have a country if he rigs this election. You will have a president who will be running for a 3rd term. Mark my word. I wasn't exaggerating when I said that I received in the mail a Trump 2028 hat from one of his biggest supporters. These guys are not screwing around. The rules do not apply to him. The most corrupt president in history. He doesn't believe in free enterprise, crony capitalism. He is wrecking this country, wrecking the economy. It's a lawless president. Wake up, America. Wake up to what's going on. Wake up, America. Wake up. You will not have a country if he rigs this election. You will have a president who will be running.
You know, Donald Trump has all intentions of running for a third time. Please pay attention. This is what he's already said. Okay? This is what he has already said. Now, Emilio, Emmanuel, songwriter Sonny, why did you allow me? Because I watched the other videos, reading the chats, and I called you Emilio at least 2 times, and you didn't even bother to correct me. Now, why am I calling him Emilio? Well, because his name is Emmanuel Brito. Okay, and I put it together in my head, I guess, and was calling you Emilio. I am so through with myself. But anyway, yeah, this is all just real bad. He's out here harassing people. You know, they're out here taking to the streets, doing too much. They had Jolly Good Ginger from TikTok even go down there to DC to see what the hell's going on, and he found the same thing everybody else found. Nothing's going on. Okay, officers getting hit with sub sandwiches and getting charged with felonies. The perpetrators getting charged with felonies. Okay, but the interesting thing is, all those people, the insurrectionists that went to the Capitol, they all got pardoned. But they're going to give this man a felony for throwing a sandwich? Okay, this is ridiculous. Metro Man says, if you let 47 tell it, 80% of folks, 63% of the time make up 42% of stats, 71% of the time on 96% of topics, plus a 12% margin if Auntie made her to-go plates at the barbecue and hid them in the car. Benjamin, I don't know what the hell you're talking about, but I love it. Okay. Thank you, beloved, for that tidbit and the breakdown with all the percentages, no less. All right. Thank you. And also thank you for your contribution to the channel. Peace, love, and blessings, honey. Okay. So Queen Sam says, so the Japanese Americans can have a museum, but we can't. Well, apparently so. Apparently so, beloved. Okay. So that's right, Joy. A felony sandwich attack. What in the world is happening? Honey, you tell me, then we'll all know. Okay. So anyway, I'm about to be out of here. Everyone, please like and share this video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Okay. Right. Songwriter Sonny says Japan got paid reparations, and yeah, they did get paid reparations. That's what I'm saying. Everybody got reparations except for us. Okay, the Native Americans got it, the U's. Then you have the Japanese, because they put them in internment camps. Okay, after World War II. Yeah, after World War II. Okay, after they bombed Pearl Harbor, and then they also gave reparations to the Italians because they lynched a bunch of them back then. And I want you all to pay attention to something. See, this is why it's all crazy. You know, how we talk about, you know, the other day when I was talking about the Africans and the African Americans feuding amongst ourselves, I want you all to think about something. Back in the day, the European white people and the Irish white people and the Italian white people and the Jewish white people, they all were against each other. I want y'all to think about that. They literally were lynching Italians in this country, okay? And the Irish were in involuntary servitude for 7 years, okay? And we know how they felt about the Jews back then. But now all of those people are united, and they're Confederates, some of them against us. But y'all still sitting up here arguing, having diaspora wars, African Americans against the Africans, the Haitians and all that, the Jamaicans and all that. It's a sad day, okay? It's a sad day because now they have us doing the same thing they used to do. Y'all see how that works? Divide and conquer, okay? Like I've been telling y'all, it's time to wake up, okay? It's time to wake up. This is why we stay with their heels on our necks, with their boots on our necks, because at the end of the day, we just collectively have not waken up. Okay, and until we do, this is what we have. This is where we are. And it's really sad and unfortunate. Okay? So with that all being said, beloveds, I hope you all enjoy the rest of this evening. Okay, enjoy your strong end, not the weak end, leaving you in a weakened state of mind. Each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives. Until next time, peace.
Hit him with that flavor. Gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunta. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. That's See right. A bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got